In Atomic Habits, there's a simple idea that can completely change your life: the 1% rule. If you improve just 1% every day, something magical happens. Over a year, those tiny steps don't just add up. They multiply. You don't become slightly better. You become transformed. But here's where most people go wrong. They try to change everything overnight. They push too hard, too fast. Maybe they improve 50% in a week, but then they crash. Old habits return. Scrolling comes back. Procrastination wins. Discipline fades, and they end up right where they started. That's why the 1% rule works, because it's sustainable, quiet, consistent, almost invisible at first. The truth is, most people live the same year over and over again. If you don't want that to be you, if you truly want to build the life you dream about, then you need a different approach. Self-improvement is not a burst of motivation. It's not a mood. It's a system, a structure, a way of living. And when you treat it that way, everything changes. Progress isn't linear. It's not a straight line upward. It's slow, then suddenly exponential. At first, it feels like nothing is happening, but beneath the surface, everything is building. And one day, it clicks. The results show up. The overnight success appears, but it was never overnight. It was built quietly, one small win at a time. And here's something powerful. Every win is permanent. Every time you read a few pages, every time you go for a walk, every time you choose discipline over distraction, it stays with you. Like experience points in a game, you never lose them. But most people forget this. They treat progress as temporary. And when they don't see instant results, they lose motivation. Don't make that mistake. Even if you don't see change today, you are building something real. Reading 10 pages today won't change your life tomorrow, but do it every day for a year, and suddenly you've read 10 to 12 books. That will change your life. Meditation for 10 minutes won't transform you instantly, but over time, it reshapes your mind. Everything compounds, everything stacks. And slowly, without you even noticing, you become a different person. Not because of one big moment, but because of hundreds of small ones. Every habit you build is more than just an action. It's evidence, proof that you are becoming the person you want to be. When you show up consistently, even in small ways, you start believing in yourself, and that belief becomes your identity. Think about going to the gym for 6 months, then taking a break. You don't lose everything. Your body remembers. Same with riding a bike. You never forget. Growth works the same way. Everything you build stays with you. Nothing is wasted. Imagine building a house. At first, you lay a few bricks. It doesn't look like anything. No one sees the vision, not even you. But you keep going. 50 bricks, 100 bricks, 200 bricks. Still, it doesn't look like a house. Then one day, it does. That's how success works. Every small action is a brick, and just because you can't see the house yet, doesn't mean you're not building it. Now imagine this. You commit for 365 days to becoming just 1% better every day. Not perfect, just better. And at the same time, you remove 1% of what's holding you back. Less distraction, less noise, less bad habits. That's not 1% improvement. That's 2%, because growth and distraction cannot coexist. Sometimes, growth isn't about adding more. It's about removing what's in the way. One less distraction, one less negative thought, one less bad habit. You create space, and that space fills with something better. At the beginning, everything feels hard. You force yourself to read. You force yourself to focus. But over time, something shifts. You don't need motivation anymore because it becomes who you are. You don't try to read. You are someone who reads. That's when everything becomes easier. Confidence isn't something you're born with, it's built. One small win at a time. Every time you follow through, you prove something to yourself. And that proof becomes belief. And that belief becomes confidence. Every day, ask yourself, what is one thing I did today that I should stop doing? What is one thing I did today that I should repeat tomorrow? Fix one thing, improve one thing, repeat 365 times. Changing your life doesn't require massive action. It requires consistent, intentional, small steps. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep showing up, because 1% today becomes a completely new life tomorrow.